never left the WWF?
I will be playing the role of Vince McMahon, and I will try to determine what WWF would have done if Razor Ramon and Diesel had stayed in the WWF in 1996.
Me playing the part of Eric Bischoff. Take you guys back to a Monday Nitro on January the 15th. When at the time Surfer Sting starting to kind of allow the hair to grow out a little bit. There was a very intriguing character who was moving around WCW in a very aggressive and new age fashion, and that individual was the loose cannon Brian Pillman.
Heyman's exit from WCW.
Okay.
Because evidently Flair told him to cut a promo a certain way. He didn't. And once he got back to the backstage area, Flair said, "You're out of here."
We should be moving towards you and your timeline a little bit.
Okay, yeah, now we're going to get to WrestleMania 12. Okay? And I pretty much have WrestleMania 12 going the same way as it did in reality.
Okay.
I only have one difference.
Listen.
Okay. Because I heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but it came from Scott Hall himself.
Okay.
He gave his notice right after the Rumble.
Okay.
And as soon as he gave his notice, or shortly after he gave his notice, because I think he still worked the February in your house against, I think, Kidd.
Okay.
And as soon as he worked that match against Kidd, they popped him for a drug suspension.
Okay.
And he said, "Yeah, as soon as I give my notice, boom, this drug suspension thing comes up. Like, how convenient was that?"
Yeah.
And that causes Razor to miss WrestleMania. And Piper's going to take his place.
Got it.
Well, if he never gives his notice, that how convenient is that never happens.
Okay.
So instead of Piper replacing Razor,
Razor's there.
Razor's there.
Okay.
And I don't have them in a Hollywood backlot brawl,
Okay.
but I do have them in some sort of off-site match.
Okay.
Okay? The only reason they went Hollywood backlot brawl is probably because Piper had some, what do you call it? Like some contacts. Like, hey, let us mess around in your backlot for a minute.
Yeah.
Well, Piper's not there for that, so they probably don't get it.
Okay.
So, but they're going to have some sort of off-site happening.
Okay.
And they're still going to want to do the O.J. Simpson tie-in. So instead of Piper in the white Bronco, it's Razor in the white Bronco.
Okay.
And they're going to, fight wherever they're at. Goldust is going to run. And I have this all for the Intercontinental title.
Okay.
Okay?
Right.
Goldust is going to run. Razor's going to follow him. And they're going to do the helicopter and the white Bronco thing. And you're going to hear Vince McMahon go, "Oh yeah, this kind of looks familiar." And everything is going to end up in the ring, but Tor, I think they did it right before the main event.
Okay.
That's where they finished it off. The only thing that's not going to happen is you're not going to disrobe Goldust into women's lingerie. Because I don't think Razor would be cool with that. But it's all going to end in a no contest.
Okay.
So Goldust keeps the title. Razor doesn't win it.
So Razor now has a loss on the record to Goldust.
Well, he doesn't have a loss on the record. He just doesn't have a title win.
Okay.
Okay. Now.
And this is still March.
Well, this is still WrestleMania. Still have Diesel and Undertaker.
Okay.
Going at WrestleMania. I still have Undertaker winning.
Okay.
All right. I also still have the Iron Man match happening.
Okay.
And I still have Shawn winning it.
Okay.
And Brett going off to do the acting thing or whatever.
That was that time frame, yeah. Split off.
Okay. Now, Raw following WrestleMania.
Okay.
We know because Diesel was going to transition to Shawn, Mankind attacks Undertaker.
As he should.
But if Diesel's not going anywhere, I have Diesel and Undertaker continuing.
Okay.
Okay? So basically instead of Mankind attacking Undertaker, I just have Mankind doing his debut in like squash match.
Squash. Okay.
Okay? And then we have Shawn Michaels. He comes to the ring. He thanks the fans, and you know, I did this title victory all for you, and the boyhood dream came true. And yada yada yada. All right.
Okay.
I have Razor come out, congratulate Shawn because they're buddy, but says, hey, I'd like to be the first challenger.
Okay.
Shawn's going to say, you couldn't win back the Intercontinental title from Goldust, so why? I don't think you're worthy yet.
No, not yet. You know,
That's going to piss off Razor. Razor's going to attack Shawn. He'll turn in the process.
Okay.
Okay? I have Undertaker, because I think when Mankind attacked him, he was facing a lower, I think it was Bradshaw he faced that night.
Okay.
I can't remember, but still, he gets a lower level opponent, easy victory. Instead of Mankind attacking him, I have Diesel attacking him.
Okay.
To continue their little thing.
Okay.
All right. And then, like for the rest of, and I'll go ahead and go into Ross for the rest of April, and then I'll stop right before I get to the pay-per-view.
Okay.
For the rest of April, Michael's going to address Razor Ramon and say, you know, you can't get a title shot just by cheap shot the champion. You got to earn it.
Okay.
So Razor's not going to get a title shot.
Okay.
At the next pay-per-view. He's going to make Razor fight to be the #1 contender.
Okay.
All right, you know, just because you cheap shot me, that's not going to get
Doesn't
you
move
anywhere.
you to the front of the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Who is postured if not Razor at that point?
For the pay-per-view, I don't have Michaels working the pay-per-view.
Okay.
I have him on commentary.
Okay.
But we'll get into that once I get to the pay-per-view.
Okay.
Mankind would continue to work enhancement matches, and he's going to establish the mandible claw as his finisher. Okay?
Okay.
And that's the only reason why they have him in those squash matches. He wins everything with the mandible claw.
Okay.
Getting that move over.
Yep.
Okay? And then Diesel and Undertaker, they're going to still continue to try to intimidate each other.
Okay.
Okay? Diesel's going to do it with promos in the ring or backstage or wherever. Undertaker's going to do it by attacking Diesel's friends.
Okay.
Alright? Like 1, 2, 3 Kid. We know he's in the clique.
That's right.
He's going to go down at the hands of Undertaker.
Okay.
Hunter Hearst Helmsley is in the clique.
Just gonna bury Hunter?
No, I'm not going to bury him. But Undertaker's still going to beat him up.
Okay.
This is going to be kind of like an in-ring thing.
Okay.
Where, like, say Diesel's in the ring cutting a promo, and then Undertaker's going to show up with a beat up Hunter.
Yeah.
On the stage. Like, here's your buddy, come save him.
Yeah.
Diesel's going to refuse.
Okay.
He's going to sacrifice Hunter to the Undertaker.
That's a real.
It's a
real
dick move.
shitty way to go about
And
things.
trust me, I've got an answer for that.
Okay.
And that's pretty much all I have for, let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have for April.
Okay.
So then we'll go back to...
Well, my first big question is, so in this alternate universe, are we just under the impression that Hall's drug addiction is no longer a problem? Or are we operating as if Shawn had one too, and we are just choosing to turn a blind eye because there's no other friction with the transition?
I'll put it this way. I did not work any drug suspensions into the angle. So it's not like...
Oh, okay.
It's not like they're turning a blind eye to it. I'm trying to make this a perfect world where it didn't exist in the first place.
Okay.
Okay?
I mean, it working with that understanding.
That kind of throws a monkey wrench into my plan.
It absolutely
So, and I refuse to work with monkey wrenches, so So I eliminated Razor's drug problem from the equation.
I feel like it wouldn't be having a realistic aspect.
This is my fantasy, so.
So he's clean and sober. He's a Christian.
I'm not saying he's clean and sober. I'm just saying he never gets caught.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So for me, April is I would call it a relatively short month. So in April, the things that we know happen in this world, Flair drops the title to the Giant, which is something that did actually happen. Who, to me, consequently starts a feud with Lex Luger, now thrust up the card. So at this point, we're talking April, Luger starts a program against the Giant, who's now the heavyweight champion.
I think he had a program with him anyway, didn't he?
He did. He absolutely did. So at this, now because Pillman's gimmick in ECW has kind of continued to grow into a thing of legend, because he's been there for a few weeks now, he's been heavily featured on the show, he's cut some pretty nasty promos. This is that time frame, and this happened in real life, where he has started flirting with conversation and contract talks with WWF as well. So he is starting to become like one of the hottest independent names out there, even though what no one really seems to know, minus Bischoff, is that he is still under a WCW contract. He's getting paid by WCW. Okay, because his contract was set to come to an end around June time frame, I believe.
So they're not going to work Heyman into paying him as well.
That's right. And Heyman, I think, loves this free service.
So he's getting it for free.
He's getting it for free. And he already had the bounce checks and all the other issues going on in ECW. Yeah. Heyman had a tough time with finances. So anybody that comes in and says, hey, I'm a name and I'm going to help without charging you, I think Heyman would jump at that chance. Okay, so that is really kind of working behind the scenes. Because Bischoff is hearing all of the heat that it's picking up around him, this is where Bischoff, as we're coming toward June, kind of says, you know what, I'm not forecasting for a big contract like Hall's or Nash's now. So I have a lot of money to play with. Yeah. I've got this guy out here who is hot, red hot.
And conversely, because there's a lot of room on WCW, you're going to find out that there's not a lot of room in WWF.
That's right. Yeah. So now you're looking at a situation where Pillman is he's going to negotiate for the salary that he wants, and Bischoff is going to proudly give him that because he has the money to spare. Right. And again, exactly like you just said, which is beautiful, there's not a lot of slots for him to jump into WWF. And he also knows at ECW he's not going to get paid shit because Paul Heyman won't pay nobody. So the only option that he ends up left with is WCW. And so from there, he does negotiate a higher paid position. Now, I'm just going to trickle into June since we're already kind of here, because this is where the meat starts to pop up, okay? So this same month, just for continuity's sake, this April into June is the same time frame that he crashes his Hummer.
What happens to May?
What did I jump?
You went from April to June.
Oh, sorry. I meant, not just June. May is this negotiation contract.
Oh, gotcha.
May, because his contract up April into May.
Okay.
June. So they had the money talks in May, and then we moved into June. So this is the month for continuity's sake is when Pillman crashes his Hummer. He spends a day in a coma and he shatters his ankle. That's what happened in real life. That is exactly how things played out. And then what he ended up doing is popping up on WWF in real life. Yeah. And commentary role for about a month. Yeah. And then that month's time that's all it took for him to heal, which was something that threw me off. I didn't realize that it was that fast. I thought he was down for like a quarter. He's only down for a month before he is cleared to wrestle again.
When did Austin do the chair thing?
June time frame.
96.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we're right there. We're literally right there. He had 1 month on commentary, and then he was cleared to wrestle. Huh. So with that, what I did is I went ahead and gave him the same Hummer situation. It sucks that it happened, but I just went ahead and played with it anyways, which is why I was hassling you about the Razor stuff, because I tried to keep my constraints in there at least a little bit. So here for me, he makes his first WCW appearance at the Great American Bash, June 16th of 96. He's not quite cleared to wrestle yet because he doesn't get cleared fully until the end of June, real time. Okay, so he shows up, and much like Scott Hall, he comes through the crowd kind of toward the end of the Horseman versus Mongo and Kevin Green match. Okay. So this is when Mongo joins the Horseman. Right. Yes, he turns on Kevin Green, bashes him with the briefcase of money, and you have that situation, right?
So yeah, that thing really worked out well too.
Yes, great decision. So what I did is I wanted to play with that time frame, but first of all, because Pillman really, over time, he did seem to have an attachment and dance and flirt around with the Horseman a lot. So I felt like him coming back within this time frame kind of like paid some homage to that.
Okay.
I wanted to insert him kind of into that space. So essentially what happens is everything happens the same in that match. After Mongo turns on Green, smashing him in the back with a briefcase full of money, the Horsemen win, beginning their celebration. Pillman hits the ring with a front row chair in his hand, comes through the crowd, out of the stands. Now, the way that this happened in real life, without Pillman there, was Benoit and Deborah that come out from the back. While because they're all going to just keep stomping on Kevin Green with the plan. They're going to beat him after he's lost the match. They were going to jump.
Deborah come out?
Mm-hmm. They come out from the back. Because in the match you had Arn and Flair against Mongo and Green. And then you had Woman at ringside, you had Liz at ringside, Deborah was in back. So when Mongo turns, because I think she wasn't out there because it was her man, or there was the middle of that and stuff or something.
Because I think the way I remember it, and of course it's been a while since I've seen it, but the way I remember it was Liz and Woman kind of abducted Deborah, took her to the back, and then all three of them came back out.
Okay.
And Deborah's got the briefcase,
That's right.
Opens it, Horseman shirt in it with money.
That's right.
And then, like, oh, they're going to pay me to join. Here's the, boom, see you later, Kevin Green.
That's right.
Yeah.
But
so
then
Benoit came out with who?
Benoit comes down by himself, I guess, then. If the three of them came out together.
Yeah.
He comes down to, like, join in, because they're, Horseman Celebration.
Okay.
We're going to do our Horseman Celebration together and all this. So essentially in this world, what happens is Pillman hits the ring with a front row chair in his hand. As Benoit's making his way from the back for their big Horseman Celebration, Pillman hops in the ring and everybody's kind of looking at each other at this point, because it's like, this is the 4 horsemen, but there are 5 guys here. This is kind of weird. We're trying to figure out what right looks like. So Pillman kind of does the, hey, I'm back, guys, starts hugging people. Hey, everything's good. We're having a great time. Things are going to be wonderful. Flair celebrating, Arn celebrating. They spin around. Benoit's on his way down. Yeah, we're loving life. This is beautiful. Pow, pow, pow. Everybody gets a chair shot. Pillman lays down on 3. He lays down Mongo. He lays down Arn. He lays down Flair with the chair.
Okay.
Now, Benoit sees this and goes, oh, I need to save my guys. But at the same time, because he's pow, 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 knocked them all out, and he's standing there with the chair waiting. Come on, get in here. I dare you to get in here. Come on. Benoit's kind of in the aisle way, like, I need to get in, but I don't want to take a chair shot to get in.
Yeah.
As this is happening, Body comes out from behind Benoit, climbs the barricade, steps out right behind Benoit. Guy in jean jacket and shorts, spins him around, even flow DDT. Wow!
Even flow.
Scott Levy has arrived, folks. Mr. Raven from ECW has stepped into the scene, and obviously he was a guy that crossed paths with Pillman. They are not calling him Raven here because, again, they're trying to break into the kayfabe world. So, oh my God, that Scott Levy is the Tony Schiavone call. And even flow to Benoit. Raven scoops him up, drags him into the ring, throws him in there with the other horsemen as Pillman continues to pummel these guys with chairs. Raven scoops up Flair, even flow DDT. Raven scoops up Arn, even flow DDT. Raven scoops up Mongo, even flow DDT. Everybody is getting this business right now.
Okay.
So you've got Raven, Scott Levy. At the same time, you've got Pillman. They are absolutely crushing this whole operation. Pillman now snags a mic. When he grabs his mic, he unfolds his chair. He positions it, the folded legs, over Flair's throat and chest, and sits down on it so he can look Flair in the face over the chair. And as he's sitting in that position, we've got Raven kind of stacking up the other bodies on the side. So scene's chaos, and Pillman lets the world know that he and Levy are the best in the business, and they're bigger than any one brand or promotion.
Okay.
They can go where they want, when they want. And to prove it, WCW needs to bring forth 3 of their best. He runs through a list of possible names in the form of Hogan, Savage, the Giant, Luger, or Sting.
Okay. And that's how you're going to close out June?
That is how we are closing out
Or closing out the Great American Bash?
Great American Bash closes on that set right there.
Okay, well then I will pick it back up. In Your House 7.
Okay.
Which was the pay-per-view in April of '96. Okay. I have Mankind.
Okay.
You could either be on the pre-show, probably on the show proper, but Mankind faces his toughest challenge to date, Jake the Snake Roberts. And he wins with a mandible claw.
Okay.
Alright. Diesel and Undertaker are going to face off in a casket match.
Okay.
Okay? During the match, Hunter Hearst Helmsley is going to come out.
Okay.
He's going to appear to attack The Undertaker to help Diesel.
Okay.
But he attacks Diesel instead, turning him babyface in the process.
Okay.
He attacks Diesel and helps put him in the casket.
Alright.
And Undertaker wins, and this allows Diesel to be away for 2 months for the birth of his, I believe it was the birth of his first child.
Okay.
And this is a deal that would have been negotiated when he re-signed with Vince.
That's cool. Okay.
So Diesel is in the casket, buried and gone.
Alright.
Alright. Now the match, Razor Ramon is going to face Savio Vega
Okay.
to determine the number 1 contender for the WWF title.
Okay.
Alright? 1, 2, 3 Kid is going to get involved.
Okay.
1, 2, 3 Kid is going to interfere on Razor's behalf, and Razor is going to beat Savio Vega.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the Raw after the In Your House.
Okay.
Alright? Undertaker's going to face a lower level guy.
Okay.
Win his match. He gets attacked by Mankind.
Okay.
So I still have the Undertaker Mankind thing. I'm just having it start a month later.
Okay.
Okay? Now, Helmsley's going to come out. He's going to do an in-ring interview, and he's going to talk about how Diesel didn't help him when he was attacked by The Undertaker, so he made sure that Diesel went in the casket. And he's going to get cheered by the crowd.
Okay.
All
So
right.
he's babyface of this?
Yes, that is the official, this confirms Helmsley babyface.
Okay.
Okay? Now, WWF officials are going to negate the Razor Ramon victory over Savio Vega.
Okay.
Because of the interference from 1, 2, 3 Kid.
Razor can't catch a break.
No. No. But keeps him relevant.
Yeah.
Because if we're going to pay him all this money, we've got to keep him relevant.
Gotta be out there.
Okay? But Sean wants a challenger, and he's going to offer a title match to Savio Vega.
Okay.
Alright? Now for my Raws for the rest of the month of May. Mankind is going to continue to pursue The Undertaker, and they're going to book a match for the May In Your House.
Okay.
Okay? Helmsley is going to have a match against Owen Hart, and British Bulldog's going to be at ringside. The match is going to get thrown out due to interference from the Bulldog.
Okay.
Okay? Helmsley is going to get a match with Bulldog at the May In Your House. And then Sean is going to successfully defend against Savio Vega.
Okay.
Razor Ramon and the 1, 2, 3 Kid are going to attack Michaels after the match. WWF officials are going to book a tag team match with Razor and Kid against Savio and Mark Merritt. The wrestler who scores the pinfall in the match earns the title shot.
Okay.
Okay? So they're basically booking a tag team match, but the winner of the match gets the next title shot at Michaels.
Okay.
Alright, now we go into In Your House 8, which is the May In Your House.
Okay.
Mankind is going to shock the world and he's going to beat Undertaker.
Okay.
Alright, during the Undertaker Mankind match, Diana Smith, who is sitting ringside, is going to get called to the backstage area. And they're not going to say anything about it, but you're going to see on the camera Diana Smith is going to get up and she's going to walk to the back.
Okay.
Alright? And they're not, like I said, they're not even going to reference it, and you're not even going to think anything of it. It's just something that's going to happen that gets referenced later.
Okay.
Let's see. Where am I? Okay. Match between Helmsley and Bulldog will be won by Bulldog after Diana distracts Helmsley.
Okay.
And when Diana distracts Helmsley, he gets blindsided by Owen behind the referee's back, put in the ring, or he's down in the ring, Bulldog wins.
Okay.
Okay? The tag match to determine the number one contender ends in chaos when all four men are counted out in their fight. They fight to the backstage area.
What's Cornette always say? Fight off.
Yeah.
Lazy bookie.
Yeah.
Never
Now,
see him again.
once again, Shawn Michaels is on commentary for the match because he wants to see who's going to be his next challenger.
Mm-hmm.
After everybody fights off to the back, Michaels gets done, but before the show fades to black, he gets attacked by Steve Austin.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
And this attack actually injures, I believe it's injures Shawn's knee. He does something to injure Shawn Michaels that puts him out.
Okay.
Okay? So the Raw after the In Your House. It's revealed on Raw that Diana thought she was called to the backstage area by her husband.
Okay.
But would be met by Helmsley instead. Diana would claim that Helmsley would proposition her, Helmsley would deny it.
Okay.
Kind of like the same thing they did with Michaels, only I have Helmsley playing this role.
Okay.
Okay? The Mankind Undertaker program is going to continue, but Mankind is going to kidnap Paul Bearer.
Nice. Okay.
And then they start doing qualifying matches for King of the Ring.
Okay.
Okay? Austin is going to get beaten by Helmsley due to a distraction from an injured Shawn Michaels.
Okay. So Michaels is still floating around.
He's still floating around. He's just, I misspoke earlier.
Okay.
After that match, after the match where Austin loses, Austin attacks Michaels again, and that's where he injures Shawn's knee.
A second time.
No, the first time. I misspoke that he injured him the night before.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
I'm with it.
after the match, Austin attacks Michaels, injures his knee.
Okay.
Probably does the same chair thing that he did to Pillman's ankle.
Yeah.
Okay? But instead he does it to Michaels. Alright, due to the tag team match for the number one contendership ending in a no contest,
Okay.
WWF officials are going to book a fatal four-way match at the King of the Ring to determine the number one contender involving Kid, Razor, Mero, and Salvia.
Okay.
Now, the Raw shows for the rest of the month of June.
All right.
I'm gonna do the rest of the Raw shows for June and do the King of the Ring, and then we'll kick back to you.
Okay.
For the Raw shows for the rest of June,
Okay.
Mankind refuses to return Paul Bearer to the Undertaker. A match is made for the King of the Ring.
Wait, I just want to know, where's he keep it up?
We don't
The
know.
boiler room.
We don't know. I'm gonna get to that. If Undertaker wins, he gets Paul Bearer back.
Okay.
Other qualifiers for the King of the Ring tournament are British Bulldog, Goldust, and Jake Roberts.
Okay.
It doesn't matter who they beat.
They're the guys that are in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels is going to return at the Go Home Raw for the King of the Ring.
Still injured, uninjured now?
He is uninjured now.
Okay.
He is going to demand that the WWF officials book a match against Steve Austin.
Okay.
Now, the difference before, where Razor attacked him, he didn't injure him.
Okay. Glad you covered that, because that's the first thing I was going to ask. Is like, oh, so we're this one he can't jump the line?
This time, Austin put him out.
Okay.
I want revenge.
Okay.
So now Austin wants, Michaels wants revenge for missing time due to the knee injury sustained at the hands of Austin.
All right.
All right, the combatants in the Fatal 4-Way match for the King of the Ring. They have single matches where they face one another.
Okay.
During these Raws before we get to the King of the Ring. Mero's going to defeat Kid and Sabio but lose to Razor.
Okay.
Sabio's going to defeat Kid but lose to Mero and Razor.
Okay.
Razor going to beat Mero and beat Sabio, but the match between him and Kid goes to a no contest because it will be the last match they do. His match against Kid goes to a no contest because both are counted out due to Mero and Sabio getting involved, and it's going to close out the go home run.
All right.
So they're going to close out with all four of the guys brawling to the back.
Fight off.
Say goodbye.
Jim Cornette's going to disown you. That's a few of those now.
All right, King of the Ring. Mankind would defeat The Undertaker again.
Wow. Okay.
Paul Bearer would not even make an appearance.
Okay.
So Paul Bearer is still abducted.
Okay.
Helmsley is going to defeat Goldust and then Bulldog to win King of the Ring.
As he should have.
Because of the curtain call
Never happened.
never happening, Helmsley still gets to win King of the Ring.
Okay.
Diana, Owen Hart, and Jim Cornette would do their best to interfere, but Helmsley is going to overcome it all and win.
Okay. Ultimate babyface.
Basically. The Fatal 4-Way match for number one contender is won by Razor Ramon.
All right.
Okay? Shawn Michaels is going to retain the WWF title and win over Steve Austin. Michaels will be confronted by Razor Ramon after the match with a stare down to end the show.
Okay.